And welcome back. This is your man Warrior, and this is going to be the last tier of the Nihilus event. And I wanted to briefly talk about the store with the Lord of Hunger packs. The Lord of Hunger packs are basically 1,300 crystals for 5 shards. The rest of it is what they would call a bonus. And the bonuses are okay. They're not a huge value, but they're not bad. So you're paying 1,300 crystals for 5 shards. So if you divide that up, you're paying about 300 almost crystals per shard, when a traditional shard is worth 50 to 80. So it's about 4 to 6 times more expensive than a traditional shard, and that's to get it premium and right away. I personally am not going to spend the money on these packs, even though it's really tempting to get Nihilus leveled up. Because I know everybody says you have to get at least 10 more shards to get him to 4-star. He's going to be 3-star for me, unfortunately. My suggestion, if I'm going to be constructive, and hopefully Capital Games and EA are listening, especially their marketing department, would be that they create a better value. When people are going to spend money, they want to see the value that they're getting. So, for example, if this pack was 1,500 crystals and guaranteed 30 shards, and then had, the gear to get him to level, gear level 4, they would probably sell 10 to 14 times the number of packs they're selling at this rate. Now, while they're giving away more, the value is so great that people see the value, and then people come out in droves and buy it. And so they end up making more money in the long haul, and they're not losing anything. This is digital currency. This is virtual reality. There's no real loss here. So by giving 30 shards, you're creating a valuation that's relative and decent in valuation. So my suggestion would be to create an improved value. The other thing is they've established that these shards are worth approximately 50 to 80, and so they need to be consistent with that. Even if it's a premium tune and they're doing 100 crystal per shard, 500 crystals for 5 shards would be seen as relatively fair within the math that they've established and created. So if this was a $499 pack, 499 crystals for 5, and then it had these little bonuses, people would probably flock to it again, and they would probably buy them up. But there's got to be a greater value perceived by the consumer, or the consumer won't buy. So I really want the game to succeed, and I want people to buy these. I just don't recommend this pack as a good buy currently. I would say these packs over here are almost a better buy, because they give you a huge jump start. It's shards on one character. It's 80 shards for, you get 40 shards for $10 to the right, whereas for $10 to the left, you only get 5. So, it's just, it's 8 times more shards for these characters over here. And while they're farmable, it does come with a lot of gear and things like that as well. Look at the value of this pack. See what you get, all the value of all of this versus this. There's just not a whole bunch of value in there. But anyway, let's move on to the event. Let's get going. Apologize, I was sick a few weeks ago, and I'm still dealing with kind of being sick. It's just been looming. I heard this goes pretty fast, so we're just going to kind of bust through this and see. I guess we get to borrow individuals, and so I guess I'm just going to go ahead and take in a Boba. And I think I'm going to probably stick with the team I used throughout, which was my basically my Darth team, except for Kylo Ren was in there. And yeah, let's go ahead and let's zip through this. I'm going to go ahead and turn the volume up just a little bit so we can hear the game a tiny bit. I don't like the game being too loud, and then it overpowers you. The first couple of rounds, I'm just going to go on auto battle, just for the sake of time. And I know even Darth Nihilus in this last one is still easy to kill. That was a pretty strong hit from Boba, but these are still pretty low-level characters. I love the background. If you look at the background, it looks phenomenal. They've done a great job with the artwork. Really proud of Capital Games, staying true to the lore and to the galaxy in which this comes from. So for all of their backgrounds and how characters operate and things like that. let's just keep going. Why not Captain Phasma? She works good in First Order, and I've got one First Order on my team. Same thing for this. I'm gonna auto battle just due to the fact this is a really easy level. Even if you were a low level, you should be able to get through here relatively easy. And then we'll slow it down a little bit for those last 2 rounds when we get there. There we go. All right. Look at that background, though. I just love that background. All right. Tier 3, and of course each one, tells you the different strategy tips as far as that, like inflicting healing immunity will help defeat the Sith Lord, or teaching you about what his weaknesses are. I really like that they do that. Cleansing will help with annihilate, things like that. So buff immunity, definitely, it'll keep him from getting any buffs or any supports, and so that does make a lot of sense. And there's a lot of characters that will do buff immunity, from B2 to TIE Fighter Pilot. Cassian, surprisingly, actually on his basic, can do that as well. And I love when people die, because Darth Maul just gets sicker and sicker. He gets stronger and stronger. All right, we're going to work on Asajj first, although I'm not too concerned. Let's give everybody an extra turn. Let's go ahead and do an AoE. Why not, right? Give a little supplementary damage to Dooku. Now let's go ahead and take Dooku out. Here's the final for round, or tier 3, and it looks like it's relatively easy as well. The speed is not up on these characters either. I do know that in the tiers they slowly increase the speed of the opponents. So by the end of the last few tiers, the speed of the teams that you're facing are significantly faster. So I'm betting the tier 4 is much faster. All right, so looks like the last one's for 80 plus, and of course strategy tip, it says Lord of Hunger prevents Sith led by Nihilists from scoring critical hits, but grants them higher health, steal, and offense, which we knew. So what it's saying is it's going to convert their protection into health, and they're going to get a bunch of health steal. Why not? I got a cleanser on there now. They suggested bringing a cleanser in, so why not? By the way, if you've got friends with General Kenobis, they'll help you get through, the light side missions. So AoEs are good whenever somebody is stealth, because you can hit them even when they're stealthed. Although they did get foresight, so we will not hit them because of the foresight. But you can stun them, even though they're, that's what AoEs are good for. It just really makes sure that anybody that's trying to hide behind stealth can't. All right. We're just going to work our way through. He's going to end up finishing this round off for us. Which is a way of resetting his cooldown for his AoE that does daze. All right. Again, we're going to try to daze them so they don't get extra attacks. This is especially good for Count Dooku, and that's the one I wanted to daze, and I got it. I know I need Zeta Kylo to really make him impressive, but I'm just a little bit underwhelmed with Kylo so far. And I have all of his abilities at level 7, but I need to do some Omega pieces, and I need to do his... Plus, having him in a First Order team would make more sense for sure. Definitely just need to play with Kylo Ren a little bit more so I can figure it out. All right, now we're in Tier 4, and we're in Phase 3 of Tier 4. This is going to be the hardest. They look pretty tanky. Let's go ahead and try and get rid of as many as possible. And then we'll just get rid of Darth Maul. It looks like we're going to be able to do... We're going to gang up, and we're going to gang up on Darth Nihilus here in just a second with General Kenobi. If he's still alive by the time General Kenobi comes around. Right here. Well, nobody else even needed to hit him. That's it. So, it looks like this was a relatively easy event. I know obviously this last section would have been kind of hard, but you should have been able to do the first couple rounds, which should unlock him for you. So if you were unable to do tier 3 or 4, you should still have enough to unlock him, even if the last couple tiers were difficult. And as far as my professional recommendation on the packs, I would skip those packs and not purchase them, but that is my humble opinion. I would look for a better value somewhere else. Now let's go ahead and activate him and check him out. He's going to stay at 3 stars for me. They did an excellent job on the art. They did a phenomenal job on the art. So there we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start leveling and gearing them up, but I hope you guys have yourselves an awesome afternoon. Make sure that you keep your gaming on. And I have, by the way, a really fun video. It's a Rancor video. It's a full solo on auto battle the entire way through, and it's under 30 minutes long for a full auto. I was literally went to work and I left my phone in the back on auto battle, and I came back and I had fully soloed the entire thing. So I'm looking forward to bringing that video out in a couple of days. But as always, have yourselves a wonderful afternoon. Keep your gaming on. Warrior out.